do a little screen recording here of number 20 on the Chapter 8 post test, just to show you how I would enter these truth tables. And so if you look up top, I'm not able to use my pen here, so I'm going to have to point. But if you look at the argument up top, it says, we've got the negation of if Q, then we've got this entire thing inside the parentheses, P or not Q. Okay, so that's like our premise 1, and then our second premise is going to be not Q, and then finally our conclusion right here is going to be P and not Q. So what I would start by doing, notice on the left you're given the P and the Q, and these are all the different combinations of truth value for our two variables P and Q. So anytime we see a column for Q over here on the right, I'm going to just have it match exactly what Q looks like on the left. So notice 2 clicks does a false, the first click gives a true. So notice that this Q column matches exactly what I have over here for Q. I'm going to do that over here. True, false, true, false. This is just kind of a quick way of doing it. True, false, true, false, true, false. Okay, and unless I've just done something silly, that should all match. And now anytime I have a negation right next to the Q, I know it's just going to be the opposite. So where I have a true right here, it's going to now be false. My false becomes a true. Okay. Okay. Hopefully that's right. And then I'm not going to fill in this negation right here because that's on the outside of the brackets. So that's going to be applied in my very last step. I hope that that makes sense to everybody. And these negations were right next to the Q without any parentheses between them. And so I could apply those right away. I also can fill in my P columns. So true, true, false, false, true, true, false, false. Notice these match exactly what I have here on the left. And so now I'm ready to start filling in some of the inside stuff with my ands and my ors. So if I look over here to the far right, I'm just going to work this one. Order doesn't matter when you've got these boxes here. So since I've got an and here, that means that it's going to be true. This column is going to be true when both the P and this column right here, the not, the negation, would be true. So the first cell is going to be a false because here I've got true, but over here I've got false. So the and is false. Here I've got true and true, so there's a true there, false and false, again because both of these would have to be true for this column to be true. Okay, now for the or is going to be true whenever either this column, the P, is a true, or the negation column right here is a true. So it doesn't have to be both in this instance, just one or the other. So there's a true, a false here because right here I've got a false and right here I've got false. One at least. One has to be true. And then finally true there. So the next thing is the if then. I've got my conditional right here. Now with an if then, this is probably the most confusing. I'm going to be looking at my Q column right here and the or column right here. Okay, so you're always kind of like working inside to outside. And so when we have a conditional, it's going to be true anytime I have a false over here on the left. This will automatically be true, so I can fill those in right away. Whenever the premise is false, the argument is automatically true. We don't even care what the antecedent is, okay? And when I've got a true over here on the left like this, I need to make sure that this is also true. In that case, we've got a T. But here, notice the Q column is a true, but my or column was a false. That means like when we did the car example, I broke my promise to you. So when the premise is true but the conclusion's false, then our conjunction here is false. Okay, so now I'm going to use the negation of my if-then column. So this should be false, false. Notice I'm doing the opposite of whatever was in this column right here for my if-then. True and false. And so now I filled out the table and I click down here to confirm, and notice it tells me I am correct. And then I just need to scroll down a little bit and hit next question to get the next question to pop up. Hope that helped everybody.